The movie Supergirl is the second film in the new James Gunn DCU. This movie had a lot of hype behind it, and it stars Millie Alcock as Supergirl, also known as Kara Zor-El. After the success of Superman and leading up to the end credits scene, Supergirl made the most sense to make its next big debut. The first time we've ever gotten a solo Supergirl movie, because prior iterations, Supergirl has either been featured in movies or just on TV shows. It was actually going to be titled Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, based off of the Woman of Tomorrow comic book. Once it was first announced, I got really excited. But with that being said, is Supergirl the next best superhero movie in the DCU, or is it a complete flop like already some of the critics are saying? Is it worth watching? Because you know that's a channel favorite. We always want to be optimistic about our movies. And even though it was loosely based off of the comic book The Woman of Tomorrow, did they truly play homage to Supergirl and that overall story and arc? So let's get into it, but of course, let's talk about the good first. I think a lot of things shine within this movie. The action and the visuals are absolutely there and very stunning and very appealing. The costume designs, from obviously Supergirl to Jason Momoa's Lobo, were top tier, but I would make an argument that Creme of the Yellow Hills absolutely hated that design versus the comic version. I don't know why they went with this weird Mad Max kind of looking character, but I digress. The overall costume was still really cool. The overall tone and the feeling of the movie was okay. I did expect something a little bit brighter, but the tone overall and the colorization was very similar to maybe other super movies that we have seen, aka maybe Guardians of the Galaxy. But what's crazy about Supergirl is it's not even directed by James Gunn, and it's not even written by him whatsoever. Regardless, going in, I was still being optimistic. Now, I did say previously that this movie actually was originally titled Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which I thought was a fantastic title. Later on, we find out it gets retitled Supergirl. I'm like, okay, no big deal. And then later on, there are rumors that Jason Momoa might be coming in as Lobo and playing Lobo. Now, if you're someone that does not know the comics whatsoever, Lobo is not in the comic book whatsoever. But it doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad thing, because it would make sense for him to be there. But my biggest concern once I heard that was, wait a minute, they are going to really step out of the boundaries of this story and possibly hurt the character's integrity and the story of what Woman of Tomorrow really means. But again, I'm being optimistic. I'm hoping for the best. You know what? Lobo's in it. I love Jason Momoa. It is what it is. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, as long as he's not really in this film or he's used as a plot device, then this film still has a lot of hope. Then we find out that the movie apparently had to do multiple different reshoots and they just could not come up with an ending, and the people that viewed it did not like the movie. And I'm sitting here like, oh no, it's already starting. This movie is not going to be what I think it is whatsoever. Jason Momoa as Lobo, absolutely top tier casting. I don't know why they ever thought he was supposed to be Aquaman before. Like, he is literally Lobo, and I need a solo movie. Millie Alcock, some people said she wasn't really a good Supergirl. I disagree. Regardless of certain things that I had a problem with the movie, Millie Alcock is Supergirl, and I think her performance in this movie is top notch. Visuals, music, the overall feel, the characters, and how the actors portrayed certain characters. I think there's such a good foundation for a solid movie, but that is all I could say right now that was really good about the movie. Going on to the things that bothered me about the movie is that it did nothing that honestly surprised me. This movie suffers from what I like to call the superhero fatigue. If you were to line up a bunch of superhero movies that we've seen throughout our generation, throughout our years, this is something that we have seen before. The movie just starts off like any other typical movie. We see the origin of our main character, and we see obviously our other characters getting introduced and the main villain. But the overall shots and the story that was being told off the bat, I could already tell, okay, nothing's really hitting right now, and I'm not really feeling like I should care about these characters. As we progress into the film, again, maybe myself having a little bit of a bias because I did read the comic, I'm not asking for maybe a one-to-one iteration, but I'm overall looking for something that is going to really honor Supergirl in the tragedy that she goes through in the comic be put on screen. Nothing really felt like it really hit home, and it almost felt like a lot of things were out of place. It was like trying to move the plot forward instead of telling the story maybe similar to the comic in a way where it was like narrated, and it just none of this movie really felt like anything mattered. Once we got Jason Momoa into the movie, every time certain things were happening in this movie, you just didn't care. Like, you wanted to care, you wanted to feel for Supergirl, but even the trauma in and the things that she was dealing with. Within the comic, it felt more like a full hero's journey of realization of like why you're a superhero, to where this movie just felt like she was on a drunken bender, which is accurate to the comic, but then just wakes up the next morning and realizes, well, I don't have to be this person, and that's it. There was no significant moment in this movie where it was like a wake up moment or like a oh shit moment. And there could have been. There was a moment in this movie where she is on the green planet, which has the Krypton sun and the yellow sun, and it just nothing happened. She's just sitting there laying down in agonizing pain. But in the comic, when it happens, like she's going through a lot of memories of her life. In the movie, it was just she was there, she waited for the sun to appear, and there was nothing. There was no resolve. There was no true character development in that moment where it should have been there. And like, I hate to go back to the comics so much, but like, it told such a perfect story about going to different planets, teaching life lessons. Again, this movie didn't have to be a one for one, but could have easily just adapted, you know, the trauma that Supergirl went through and the resolve near the end. Creme of the Yellow Hills, worst villain I've probably ever seen in any superhero movie ever. Dude, there is nothing about this man that I care about whatsoever. It just felt so flat. Now, near the end of the movie, what really absolutely just destroyed me for this is, like, again, I like Lobo. I like Jason Momoa. I'm not having an issue with him whatsoever. This movie did the thing that I really hope it wasn't gonna do. It almost decharacterized and almost diminished Supergirl as a character. This movie decided, when the climactic fight scene is happening, you know, Creme of the Yellow Hills shoots Supergirl, but then instead of Supergirl being able to figure it out and get out of it, because again, she is Supergirl, they have Lobo come in and essentially save the day. And I get it, it's Lobo, it's Jason Momoa, but to me, it was like, why did we just honestly hurt the character of Supergirl? Because this was supposed to be her movie. She didn't need any help from anybody else. And I know I'm going on a little bit of a rant here because there's so many things to touch on, but this movie to me was so bland. It was almost like Thor: The Dark World. I know that was a comparison somewhere on the internet, but it really is Thor: The Dark World, or maybe, you know, Thor: Love and Thunder. Like, it was something that we've seen before. It was something that wasn't new. And again, someone who I 100% admit that I'm biased, that I read the comic. It's just, you could have taken this character and you could have really introduced like a wonderful story and understanding Kara and what she went through when she was on Krypton and everything she went through with her parents. And those scenes were decent, but just having these other elements that went nowhere just did not help the story whatsoever. And personally, I just think really hurt the character of Supergirl. But again, that's not saying that I think Millie Alcock did a bad job. I think she did a phenomenal job to the story that she was given. They could have narrated this entire movie as like the little girl's perspective of Supergirl and still told a really solid story. And honestly, I probably would have felt a lot closer to the other characters. The only character I cared about, which makes sense, is Supergirl, but even then, they took her moments away. So this movie for me overall was a really hard watch. It felt like people, they were trying to get butts in seats and hoping that Jason Momoa as Lobo was going to fill those seats. And I don't think they had trust in this movie led by a female actress to carry any weight whatsoever. And that's the sad truth, I feel like. And it sucks because I love the comic, I love the story, but this movie just didn't do it for me. And if you were someone that honestly has never seen a superhero movie in your life, you probably would enjoy this film. Like, if you have seen a superhero movie in the last few years, you have seen this movie. Every story arc is the same, every character is the same. So, a little bit of a rant on this review. I haven't done that before, but I was very passionate about this movie. This has come from passion. This is coming from love of the comic and Superman and the DCU universe, but this movie wasn't it for me. So overall though, when it comes to the Supergirl movie, Blake, I know what you're asking. What do you rate it? What are your overall thoughts? Do you recommend it? I think rating wise, when I did my Letterboxd, if anyone wants to follow me on Letterboxd, you know where to go, link down below. I gave it honestly like 1.5 stars. I give it 1 star out of 5, 2 stars. I was very disappointed in it. I think out of 10, because we do out of 10 here on YouTube, I think I'm gonna give it a 3. I think I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10, maybe a 3.5 out of 10. This movie, just for me, I've seen it before. I just wanted more. There was just nothing there. I walked in, I went to the movie, and I left. I didn't leave feeling emotional. I didn't leave feeling anything. But of course, the big question is, do I recommend it? This one's gonna probably be a no for me. I don't think it's a movie that, like, out of all the movies that have come out this summer and this year, this one's gonna be very hard for me to recommend to go see in theaters. And that, unfortunately, is the honest truth. As always, guys, remember to like the video so I know you waited till the end. Let me know your thoughts down below, either the good, the bad, the ugly. If you did see the movie, if you did like it, again, that is totally okay. Let me know down below. Big shout out to my Patreon members. As always, if you want to support the channel, that is the best way to support. You know what to do. Like the video, follow, turn on the bell for notifications, all that good stuff. If you want to see other reviews of movies and other videos, right over here and right over here. As always, thanks again, guys. Cannot wait till the next one, because I think the next DCU project being Clayface, that movie looks really good. Till next time, guys.